here we go. So we did this in class, but I also want you guys to understand that you have to do a check step. These equations, now these simple ones, I get it, you may want to skip it, but the sooner you get into the habit, the better off you're going to be. So you look at m plus 12 equals 10. So what's going on between the m and the 12? It's addition. So that means you're going to subtract 12 from both sides. Anything you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Always, always, always. Now, these guys right here, you have a positive and you have a negative. That just undid what I did. Okay, you have a positive and you have a negative. So remember, those are opposites. That's going to go to a 0. So what you have is m equals 10 minus 12, which gives you negative 2. Now, you know you have to box your answers. However, you never box until you get done with your check step. So we've got, a check step just means you're going to rewrite the original equation, so the m plus 12 equals 10, exactly like that. However, instead of the m, you're going to actually put in a negative 2. And anytime you input something, it has to be in parentheses, because that's the only way you're going to know what you put in. And it's question mark equals because you don't know if it's correct yet or not. And on a one step, yeah, you're probably going to get them right every time. And that's great. But as we get into more complicated things, you're going to need to remember you've got to do a check step every time. Okay, when you're doing a check step, you will never, ever, ever, ever cross the equal sign. So you'll simplify the left, simplify the right, and you're done. So you've got negative 2 plus 12, which gives you positive 10, equals positive 10, check, and box. So every time you finish the problem, it's check and box. Okay, number 2. So you look at it and you say, what's going on between the variable and the number on that side? So what's going on between g and 9? It's subtraction. So you undo subtraction with addition. So you add 9 to both sides. Again, you have opposites here, so that's a 0. And then you have 9 minus 2, which is 7. We talked about it a little bit in class, but in order for you to have an answer, it always has to have the variable on the left. So we said g equals 7, and then we're going to do our check step. So it's negative 2, question mark equals g, which we're going to say for now is 7 minus 9. So again, check step means simplify each side separately. So negative 2 equals 7 minus 9 is negative 2. So check and box. Okay, number 3. We've got negative 7y equals negative 91. So what's going on between the variable and whatever's with it? So this case, it's just negative 7, and smush means multiply. So we have negative 7 times y equals negative 91. So you always take exactly what is in front of the variable, and that's what you divide both sides by. So it's got to be the negative 7 out there, not just 7. Okay, so then we've got negative divided by a negative here. That's a positive. Okay, 7 divided by 7 is my 1. So there's my incredible invisible 1. And then on the other side, I have a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive. 7 goes into 9 once with 2 left over. 7 goes into 21 3 times. Okay, you may use a calculator on these. I'm fine with that, but anything you plug in the calculator, you have to write on your paper. You can't just say, oh, I used a calculator, so I didn't show my work. That's not acceptable. You have to write it on your paper. Okay, now we want to do a check step. So we go back to the beginning. So we've got negative 7, parentheses, 13, question mark equals negative 91. All right, we have 7 times 3 is 21. There's my 1. Carry my 2. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. And a negative times a positive is a negative. So I have negative 91 equals negative 91. Solve and check. All right, at this point, you're going to do number 4 on your own. So make sure you stop the video so that you can make sure all of the problems are written down and that you finish number 4 before you go start the next part. Okay, thanks guys.